The dust hung low in the desert air, swirling with the copper scent of blood. She was silent, her lips pressed tight against the pain radiating from the deep wound in her side. The young soldier, barely more than a girl, clutched her rifle with trembling fingers. Her uniform was torn, her breath shallow, but her eyes burned with defiance. Across from her, the Navy SEAL medic crouched down, his gloved hands freezing for just a moment. He had treated hundreds of wounds before, but when he saw the method she used to slow her bleeding, he realized this was no ordinary recruit. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The medic's gaze traced the crude but effective tourniquet tied above her hip. It wasn't textbook. It was survival. She had done it in seconds, under fire, while her squad scattered into cover. For an instant, he forgot the chaos around them, the crack of rifles in the distance, the muffled thuds of boots against gravel. All he could see was the determination etched into her face and the silent plea in her eyes. He pressed harder against the wound, feeling her flinch, but she didn't cry out, not once. Instead, she whispered something so faint he almost missed it. "Don't let them see me fall." Her voice was steady, even as her pulse faltered. It struck him deeper than any battlefield order ever had. The squad was cornered in the ruins of a burned-out village. Walls riddled with holes leaned at odd angles, dust drifting through shattered beams of sunlight. Every soldier looked to one another, their fear mirrored in anxious glances. Yet when their eyes landed on her, still upright despite her bleeding, something shifted. A silence rippled through them, like courage awakening. The medic's mind raced. He had seen men twice her size crumble under wounds less severe, and yet she held on, teeth clenched, commanding herself to remain steady. He couldn't help but wonder who had taught her this. Where had she learned such unyielding grit? He tightened the bandage, knowing the next minutes would decide her fate. Around them, whispers spread among the men. "She's not giving up. Look at her, still standing." Hope, fragile but real, began to stitch itself into the squad's fractured spirit. When the enemy pressed closer, the medic knew they couldn't wait. He ordered them forward, moving like a tide, synchronized and fierce. Dust rose in clouds, boots pounded in unison, and the clash of determination rang louder than the gunfire itself. Through it all, she staggered but refused to collapse, leaning only enough for the medic to steady her. Then came the breaking point. A grenade rolled into the narrow passage where they sheltered. In that instant, she made a choice that carved itself into every heart there. She shoved the medic back and dropped onto the explosive, shielding them all. The blast thundered, smoke choking the air, soldiers crying out in disbelief. But when the haze lifted, she was still breathing. Shredded uniform, blood-soaked, her frame trembling, but alive. The medic pulled her up, stunned. She had angled the grenade beneath her armor plate, absorbing what should have ended her. His throat tightened as he realized. Her training hadn't just been to fight, it had been to endure, to sacrifice, to protect. As they carried her out, the squad surrounded her, their voices breaking the silence with a roar of applause and shouts of her name. The medic's eyes glistened, not from the dust, but from something far deeper. He had thought strength meant never bending. She showed him it meant standing even when every fiber of your being screamed to fall. Because courage isn't loud, it's often silent, bleeding and unseen until the moment it saves everyone else. And just like the desert sun cutting through the smoke, her silence became their salvation. Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. Sometimes the strongest voices are the ones that never shout at all. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in courage that speaks louder than words, make sure to subscribe, because more stories like this are waiting to be told, and I'd love for you to be part of them.